Hello, my name is Joel Camacho. I'm a U.S. veteran and also a Lyft driver. We just got done watching the City Council meeting, and it's pretty apparent what the City Council wants. It's not about the protection of third party. It's not the protection of the people. It's the money. Kuvash said many, many times, it would be great and gainful for the city of Houston because it'll generate $1.5 million for the city of Houston. Let me ask you a question. Where the hell does that money go? I know it doesn't go to the roads. I just had to replace my $700 tire that, thanks to Lyft, I was able to. I was also able to pay my rent and my car note, all with working within a month with Lyft, which has provided me a living. $1.5 million, and I guarantee you $100,000 goes to buy Danishes. And tell you, I took a Lyft ride when I didn't have a car. I was just a passenger. It was my first time, I just heard about this company, and I needed surgery. Well, I had a cab driver friend, whatever. He lives right down the street. I asked him for a ride. He asked me to use my GPS. I called Lyft. They were there in 8 minutes. I got to my appointment on time. Safely, securely, I'm still here. I made that decision because I'm a big boy. I'm an adult. I can make my own decisions just like every other person that requests a Lyft, Uber, or a cab. So, you keep saying, oh, it's illegal, it's illegal, it's illegal. I don't think it's illegal. I think it's not regulated yet. It will be by tomorrow. We're not cabs. People can't hail us off the street. Therefore, we're not taxi cab drivers. And I'm sorry that City Council is sitting here trying to protect a monopoly that has consistently, time and time again, failed the consumers. And there's a reason why surge pricing in prime time occurs, because people want to ride with Lyft and Uber. They don't mind paying that cost. They don't mind it because, you know what? It's a safe ride. It's a safe, guaranteed ride home. There have been very few cases that Uber and Lyft drivers have gotten into a wreck, and it has been resolved. Just look it up in the news. Now, a world-class city like Houston, we shouldn't I'm not saying that we shouldn't be regulated. I am for regulations and laws and rules and everything. That's fine. But, we Lyft and Uber, Ridesharing, they deserve a place amongst the city. Because me personally, I'm a big boy. As I said, I can make my own big boy decisions, okay? I'm making the decision to get into whatever vehicle I'm getting into. I know what I'm getting into, okay? So, what else here? What else was spoken? For the lady that was complaining that, oh, Yellow Cab gave me an opportunity. I got a degree in communications. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm majoring in geophysics because I want a job that pays well by the time I graduate in 2 years. You, I guess, weren't thinking about that when you were younger. And it's not Lyft's or Uber's fault that that's your only way, that's the only job you can get is being a cab driver? For 30 years? You keep saying 30 years, 30 years, 30 years. You know what? I remember this empire is so powerful. It's actually called the Roman Empire. It crumbled. It's no longer here. You know what? Can you imagine what would happen if, the voters got involved? If the actual voters, the people that pay for these services, had a voice in there? I guarantee you right now that they would be more than happy. I mean, unless all my passengers have been liars, then I can tell you and I can assure you that this is something that is going to be here to stay. And there will be repercussions, maybe, if Uber and Lyft are banned. But I just don't see how all the other cities can have this Austin, Dallas, and San Antonio and not Houston. So I honestly do think that, that the points that are being brought up is just the same. It's redundant, and I don't even know what there is to talk about. The only thing that City Council cares for is money. They want to know how they can gain from this. What if we charge the medallions? What if we charge the medallions? What if everyone has to pay money to the city? That would work out great, right? He asked everyone. Oh, man. You know, another point I want to bring up. On Friday nights, I'm usually reading a book or usually play some video games. Instead, now on Friday nights, I'm out. I'm picking up people that are way too drunk to drive. You know, I don't have all the money in the world, but when I do have a couple of bucks, I try to give it to a homeless person, or at least buy them some food. You know, I try to sit down with them, get their story, because they're normal. They're normal people. And giving that money to the city of Houston won't do anything for them. At least I can put a smile on their face for 24 hours. You know? And I ask myself, too, why don't taxi cab drivers become Uber or Lyft drivers? Why? Why don't they work for the ride-sharing company? Truth is, they do. There's this guy named Manowar Khan. There's a picture of him saved right here to my desktop. It's of him in his cab. He has the Uber app opened, and he's picking people up from his cab. I'm pretty sure that's not illegal, but no one's complaining about it. Well, they are, but I don't think anybody saw that coming. Now, you know, said if this regulation passes, that Houston's going to be in a state of chaos. Yeah, it's going to be in a state of chaos because people are going to choose to drive to the bars and drive drunk instead of waiting 45 minutes for a cab to show up on a busy night. You know, and you keep talking about, you know, there's a big logo on their t-shirt that says, we want fair competition. You know what? I want fair competition. I want to be an NFL football star. So you know what? I think the NFL players should drop down to my standards, being 5'7" and 180 pounds, with a 4.8 40, and being barely able to bench press 225. Obviously, I will never make the NFL. And I'm not going to sit here and complain and bitch to every single person I know because it's not fair. I'll tell you what's not fair. Bobby and Susie that are at the bar, or, you know, a single mother that's at home that needs a ride to the grocery store but can't because they only have one car to share between the household. Or maybe they can't afford, maybe they got a DUI. Maybe they need someone to run errands with them. I've been with everyone from students to lawyers to doctors, and they all rant and rave about how great the service is. Granted, it's a brand new business, so there's going to be problems. There's going to be kinks with the system. You have to give it time. And complaining about stuff never got anything done. If it has, please give me an example. You know, surge pricing, prime time pricing, those are optional. If you don't want to pay that, you don't have to. You wait 30 minutes. Usually that's the max amount of time unless there's a huge event in Houston, like the White Linen Festival. So, again, you know, we're not breaking the laws. We're not underground. We're not going around stealing stuff and hurting people. We're helping people. There is no law when it's unregulated. Operating illegally, as far as I'm concerned, I'm picking someone up and dropping them off. But that's not my say. So, I'll leave it at that. The last things I want to leave this video with is, you know, if you're going to force me to take a cab, if you're going to make that my only option, you don't care about me. Okay? You, the city councilman that makes these laws and amendments, you don't give a shit about me. If it's 4 a.m. and I need a ride, I know damn well I'm walking because it's happened before. Beltway 8 and 290? Or whatever. I was new here. I didn't have a ride. I called a cab. It was 4 a.m. I didn't have any options, so I had to walk 12 miles. And it's okay. I like long walks on the beach. It's fine. So, you know, instead of asking and blaming and pointing fingers, why don't you just ask, what would make you happy? Us paying you the money, what would make the customer happy? Huh? Can't we model another city that this is already working perfectly fine in? Can't we have the drivers or the passengers sign a waiver saying, hey, you know, I mean, I did when I was in 5th grade, and it basically said, hey, if you die, well, That was me, having my parents sign my permission slip in 5th grade. It was a trip to Six Flags where people have died before, but people still go because it's a fun place to go. You know, I just wish that people had a voice. Don't try to tell me what my options are as a customer. If I want to ride with Lyft, Uber, Sidecar, any ride-sharing company, a cab, if I want to ride a bicycle, a bus, any kind of transportation, I can do that because it's my option. But waiting on a cab is not convenient for me, especially when I don't care what anyone says, but they're lousy. My experiences, and if I haven't ridden in a car with you or in a cab with you before, this isn't applicable to you. It's a lousy service. This is for the people, not for the drivers of any cab or ride-sharing company. Thank you. Please like this video, subscribe, and let me hear your thoughts. Now, finally, before my computer dies, I just want to show you guys one thing. I'm not too tech savvy and I suck at making videos, so I think this will be a lot faster. So, there's Mr. Manwar, right there. This cab. I'm sure this will go pretty viral to everyone in Houston. But something else a little bit more interesting I want you guys to take a look at. This is very interesting. Now, we know that Councilman Michael Kuvash is all about safety of people in greater Houston, right? Or is it that he wants to make more money? That's right. Michael Kuvash owns a bail bonding company, which means that every person that gets arrested for DUI and booked, he makes a lot of money from every single one of those people. So, hey, keep them coming in, right, Mikey?